Every time when I'm analyzing a chart, I'm using top-down analysis. What top-down analysis actually is, let's go into it. So what top-down analysis actually means is that you want to go from the higher time frames, weekly, monthly, to the lower time frames, daily H4 and H1, to build up your context for the trade, for the move you are anticipating for it to play out. Okay, so my top-down analysis starts at weekly, and on a weekly, what I'm looking at is previous daily candlestick, previous weekly candlestick closures. Okay, so candle closure, and where we are, where we currently at the market. Okay, so let's just say, we are gonna analyze the markets from this point. Okay, so this weekly candlestick closes, and for me, I can tell, okay, this weekly candlestick closed as a bullish weekly engulfing to the upside. Okay, which is one side for me, what I'm gonna be looking for, bullish. This weekly engulfing candlestick closed at this daily at this weekly support level, which price was ranging there for like 4 weeks. Okay, which is another sign for me, okay, I'm bullish. That's the context of the weekly candlestick. Okay, I see this weekly candlestick being engulfing, closed above these weekly closures, which is another sign, hey, price is ready to go up. So this week, the next week, even though I don't give a fuck what is gonna happen, I'm not gonna be looking for sells, right? Because weekly candlestick and weekly is really high value, because the higher the time frame, higher the value. Weekly candlestick is showing me, hey, we are going higher. So that's for weekly. Right now, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be dropping down on the daily time frame, and I'm gonna be looking at the trend and at the structure, where we currently at, where we are currently trading. So I'm gonna be dropping down at daily time frame, and on the daily, it was, like the candlestick closes with this candlestick. The previous weekly candlestick closes with this bullish pin bar to the upside. And so what I can see, okay, this candlestick closes for me, one thing. We made this daily double bottom, we broke above this neckline, which is what? Another sign of a bullish market structure. Bullish. On a daily. Why? We daily double bottom, and we broke above the neckline. Broke neckline, and we also broke bullish. We also broke structure to the upside, let's say. The neckline it was just a lower high of this, we broke it, which means higher high. So the daily is telling me it's bullish again. So the higher time frames, such as weekly, such as daily, is telling me, hey, market is ready to go up. So I'm not gonna be looking for any kind of sell this week. Any kind of sell, okay? It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk, and the probability of me losing the trade is way higher if I would look at sells. So right now I have this. Let's drop down on H4 time frame. On the H4 time frame, I can see. Wait, let's mark it out. Friday, Monday. Yes, this was the candlestick and weekly candlestick close. So at that point, 4 hour was doing again what? At 4 hour, I want to see structure being super clear for me, okay? Because if weekly candlestick closes like this, like to the upside, but 4 hour is doing something like this, I'm not gonna be immediately hopping into buys, only because this is bullish. Okay, I need to see the structure, because remember, structure and price is king. If the momentum is down, structure is king. So for me on H4 is structure the most important thing. Okay, and as you can see, the market structure on H4 was clearly bullish as well when we broke this high, resulting in new higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high and higher low. I actually took this trade. I remember I took buy somewhere like right here, and I exited here, which was a beautiful trade. Right now I don't want to talk about it, it's whatever. That's another confluence for me. As I'm saying, like as I said, I'm building a context for the next trade, for the next move to play out. I'm building my confluences for the next move to play out. Okay, the more confluences I have, the more context I have for my trade, the more probability I have for my trade. Structure, bullish. So right now I have weekly engulfing candlestick closure, bullish. On support, I have daily double bottom, structure being bullish, broken neckline. I have H4 structure being bullish. So what I need to wait right now is drop down on, again, lower time frame, H1. And I can see it ended here. The week ended here, cool. So as I said, I don't want to be hopping into any buys yet, just the market is bullish, because as you can see, some people can think, remember this, why higher time frames matters more than lower time frame. Some people can think, okay, we started the week and we broke structure to the downside on H1. And some people might look for shorts, but then look what happened. The market absolutely rallied because higher time frames were bullish all the time. So me looking at this 30-minute, looking at this H1 time frame, being bearish, being right now bearish, I don't care about it because higher time frame is telling me we are clearly bullish. So this week I'm gonna be only focused on buying opportunities, not selling opportunities. Why? Because weekly daily H4 is telling me buy, they are not telling me sells. So I'm gonna be looking at buys only, even though M30 and H1 are currently trading bearish. It is what it is, okay? So how can I spot that lower time frames are ready to fill that higher time frame context? Is by lower time frame structure shift, as you already know. That's the best indicator to spot it, okay? Because as I said, market was trending down on this M30 or this H1 time frame, but you don't want to get affected by it, so you want to zoom out, and on higher time frames you see we are in a clear bullish trend, so you need to zoom out. You don't want to be zoomed in like this on H1 time frame and see like, oh, market is creating like lower lows and lower highs and like this downtrend structure, and be into like this. Just if it's not clear, zoom out, time frame higher. Okay, if it's not clear, zoom out, time frame higher. And on H4, super clean because we got low, we got high, and we know push phase, pullback phase, and another leg to the upside. So as I said, the best way how to spot it is by lower time frame structure shift. Cool. So let's drop down on M30, and as you can see, we can mark out our market structure to the upside, to the downside, and as you can see, this was the shift, right? This was the shift. So right now I know weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4 bullish, and right now the lower time frames finally is playing that my ideal scenario, because keep in mind it took some days, okay? Because 3 days of that week market was bearish. 3 days of that week market was creating this market structure. So that means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is no trade for me, okay? Maybe I can find some buying opportunity, I can, but you get the point. You know, weekly daily is super bullish, but week ends at Friday. So if the weekly candlestick closes like a bullish engulfing like this, and at Wednesday is right here, it doesn't mean in the next few days it's not gonna do something like this, which, as you can see the weekly time frame here, it is exactly what happened. The weekly candlestick was here at Wednesday. But look how that candlestick closes. Completely at our favor, what we wanted. Okay, so that's why you want to pay attention to the higher time frames more than the lower time frames, and that's why the top-down analysis is so important, to go from the weekly to the daily to H4 to build up your context, and use H1, M30, M15 for your entry. So we got right here the structure shift to the upside. You can enter right here. I'm not gonna go over entries at this video. I got multiple videos on my channel, you can take a look. I was in this trade, I believe somewhere here already. Then I took some scale-ins at this position as well, and I closed the trade right here when I was trading this price action. But when we got our lower time frame structure shift, which means every time frame is bullish right now, the lower time frames finally respect our higher time frame context, higher time frame story, which we built up at the beginning of the week from the weekly, daily H4, making a higher highs, higher lows. And what does that mean? Higher highs and higher lows, bullish market structure. We want to buy, we're gonna buy at higher low, and we're gonna take the markets to the upside to go with the higher time frames.